Hi everyone, I'm Ian and welcome to tutorial 20 in our collection of everything you need to know for your functional skills level 2 maths. In this tutorial we are looking at how to order decimals in size order. First of all, we need to know two words. One word, ascending, which means getting bigger, and the second word, descending, which means to get smaller. And the main thing that we need to know when looking at decimals is that the closer the number is to the decimal point, the larger it is. You've got to think about all of these decimal numbers, all of the numbers behind the decimal point, they're all aspiring to become a whole number. If you think about pennies and pounds, okay, the closer the number gets to that decimal point, the more closer it is to graduating to becoming a pound. 99 pence is a lot closer to being a pound than 1p. Okay, so you got to just remember the closer you are to the decimal point, the larger the number is. Let's have a look at a question. Arrange the following numbers in ascending order. So we've got 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 0.1, 0.9, and 0.3. Right, the easiest thing to do to really allow your mind to visually think about these numbers is to add zeros after each number to make it so that each number is the same number of digits. So in this case, I'm going to think of these numbers as 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 0.10, 0.90, and 0.30. Okay, so ascending order means smallest to largest. So if I look at these here, I can see now that I've written them all as two digits, that this one, which looks like a 10, 0.10, is going to be the smallest. Okay, then I can see after that, we're going to have 0.25 because that looks like 25 kind of. So we've kind of got 10 and then we've got 25. After that, we've got 0.30, so looks a bit like 30, so 10, 25, 30. Now we've got 0.50, there we go, so that's 0.50, well, 0.50, 50, so we've got 10, 25, 30, 50. After that, we're going to have 0.75, and then lastly, we're going to have 0.90. So there we go, we've got them going from smallest to largest. When you write them down, you don't have to write the zeros at the end. It's just a useful visualizer because looking at these as 10, 25, 30, 50, 75, 90 makes it really clear how they're getting bigger. But if you're able to do it without, then that's perfect as well. Right, let's have a look at question 2. So this one says, place the following numbers in descending order. And here we go, we've got 0.8, 0.15, 0.6, 0.35, 0.2, 0.45, and that's it. Yeah. So I'm going to do the same trick again. I'm going to make them all the same number of digits. So I'm going to add a 0 to each one so that I'm kind of able to think about them and not have to think about the decimal place. So if I put a 0 on each one, I can now see that the smallest of these numbers is definitely still the 0.15. Then, oh, hang on a second. I almost fell for it. It's descending. I want to go biggest first. Okay, so I can now see that the biggest of these numbers is going to be the 0.80. So the 0.80. Then I've got 0.60, which looks like 60. Then I've got 0.45. Then I've got 0.35, 0.20, and then 0.15. Okay, great. Right, I'm going to do question 3, and then I will leave you, well, we'll have a look at a question in context, and then I'll leave you to go get some practice. And remember, you can practice on the Crack Maths website, and there's always the questions and the answers. This is tutorial 20, so just look for tutorial 20 in the All You Need to Know section, and you can find your practice there. So, but let's first of all look at this question 3. So question 3 says, arrange the numbers in an ascending order. So that means getting bigger. So we've got 0.02, 0.2, 0.002, 0.02, 0.2, 0.002. Okay, that's funny because some of these numbers are the same, but that's good. It allows us to tackle that issue, um, which means that we just kind of write them one after another. We don't ignore them. We don't ignore them at all. We just will collect all of the numbers that are the same in the same place. So let's put in our zeros just to make these all 3-digit numbers. So first of all, so we're now looking at 0.020, 0.200, 0.020 again, 0.200, and 0.002. So if I look at these as a collection of 3 numbers, I'm looking at them as 100. Okay, the smallest number there is going to be the one with 2 zeros in front, which just looks like a 2. So I've got 0.002 is the smallest. And that also makes sense because that 2 is the furthest away from the decimal place. So that means it is less significant. When we round, we forget about these numbers at the end. So we just kind of push them to the side. So remember, the further away a number is from that decimal place, the less we really care about it, because it's just not making much of an impact. So we've got 2 of them, so it's going to be 0.002, 0.002, and then we've got our 0.020, which they're kind of like 20s. So we've got 2 of them, so 0.020, 0.020, and then lastly, our biggest numbers are going to be the ones which look like 200s. So we've got 0.2 and 0.2. Great. Okay, let's have a quick look at a question using context. Okie dokie. So here is the questions. Question 1 says, I don't know what sort of race this was when we look at it, but it says, in a race, John finished in 0.75 seconds and Sarah finished in 0.8 seconds. Who finished first? Okay, so context, it's a race. Okay, races mean you want to do them as quickly as possible. So we're looking for which decimal is lower, which is the quickest decimal, 0.75 or 0.8. Okay, now remember 0.8 is actually like 0.80. 80 is larger than 75, so therefore 75 is the number that is smaller. So 0.75 seconds is going to be faster than 0.8 seconds, so therefore we can conclude that John finished the race first. Right, that was very quick, so let's look at question 2. So here we go. In a baking competition, Lisa's cake received a score of 0.3 and Emma's cake received a score of 0.35. Whose cake scored higher? So remember, 0.3 is actually like 0.30, so that's like 30. 0.35 is 0.35. So 0.35, 35 is higher than 30. So we can only presume that Emma's cake got the higher score. Okay, great. Remember, visit crackmaths.co.uk tutorial 20 to get some more practice on this topic, and I will see you later on. Bye.